Welcome to an episode of Wayne Outdoors. I'm your host, Brandon Wayne, and today I'm going to show you some of my favorite fall lures. In the fall, one of my favorite lures is a topwater frog. Now, when it's sunny, you're going to want to go with more of a black color. But when it's cloudy, you want to go to a natural, kind of a white color. The reason for this is when it's sunny and the sun's beating down, the fish won't be able to see the color because of the shadow that the frog's making in the sun. You're going to want to pick a black color that sticks out the most. Now when it's cloudy, you don't have to worry about the sun beating down, and you can pick the more natural or white color. How I would recommend throwing this frog is on a bait caster setup with line at about 50 to 65 pound test braided line. Now, another lure I like to use in the fall is a buzzbait. With buzzbaits, a lot of times you're going to want to have this trailer hook, by the way, because you're going to miss a lot of bites, because it's going to be buzzing by them and they're just going to nip the tail end. If you have this trailer hook, a lot of times you can catch them. Now, this one's black. You can use kind of whatever color you want, but this one's black. It seems to work the best for me. Another one of my favorite lures is a buzzbait. Now, a buzzbait, a lot of times you're going to want to have a trailer hook because it's going to be buzzing by and they're just going to be able to snip the tail end, especially if you have a trailer on it. This one doesn't have a trailer on it because I took it off. For colors, I would use this black one on cloudy days and switch to a white or a white chartreuse kind of color on real sunny days. And that goes with, if you're in clear water, I would again go for the white buzzbait, the shad resembling buzzbait. If it's dark or stained water or something, then you can go to this black buzzbait, which is a lot easier for them to see. Another one of my favorite lures for the fall is a spook. Now, some come with rattles and some don't. It doesn't really matter. I haven't really found a preference. A lot of times I like to stick with rattles, just because I think it gives that extra incentive for a bass to bite. Now, colors, I usually like to stick to something shad colored. And I know this one isn't a shad color. That one's tied onto my rod and I didn't really want to grab it. But this one works just fine. A lot of times I like to stick with something white on the bottom. White, gray, try to mimic the shad. And this seems to do just fine. Now I would recommend, for a spook, I would recommend having this on around 30-pound braided line. You do not want to put this on fluorocarbon because fluorocarbon sinks and it will mess with the action of this bait. Braid floats, so it won't hinder it at all, and that's why I would recommend braid. Another lure that works really good in the fall is a spinnerbait. I really like to throw these on real windy days when you want a lot of commotion in the water. Now this goes with just about all baits you're ever going to throw. When it's clear water, you're going to want to throw a more natural color, like this. And when it's dirty or stained water, you're going to want to throw either black or fire tiger, or something that's not quite natural. The next moving lure I like to throw in the middle of fall is a square bill crankbait. This one happens to be a KVD 1.5. Cloudy day, and along with clear water, you're going to want to stick with a more natural color or a white color. And then when it's sunny or real dark water, you're going to want to go to, in like sunny days, I like to use like a chrome or a gold or something that can reflect that light and give it something extra that the bass wants to bite. And when the water's real murky, I like to use something like chartreuse or a bright color that the bass can see real easy when it's murky. The next lure I like to throw in the fall is a lipless crankbait. With these, for colors, just like I said with the square bills, on sunny days I like to stick with like a chrome or a gold, something that can reflect that sun. But on cloudy days, I will go to a white or a shad color, or even a lot of times it works really well for me is red, and that imitates a lot of the crayfish in the area. Now, one of my absolute favorite techniques for the fall is Texas rigging soft plastics. Now, some of the soft plastics I use are anything big in a big moving bait like a crawfish or a brush hog or anything big with a lot of moving arms. Or just a plain Senko will work just great. For colors, when it's clear water, I'm going to stick to a more green pumpkin. And when it's dark water, I'm going to go to a black and blue or a black or some other dark color that's easy to see when it's really murky and brown. Now, what I recommend when I Texas rig things is for a Senko, I use a straight shank hook. And when I use like bigger lures like a brush hog or a crawfish or something like that, I'll use an EWG hook. Now I'll show you how to rig quick if you don't know how to rig up a Texas rig. The first thing you want to do is you're going to take your Senko. I'm going to demonstrate it on the Senko first. If you take the Senko, take the hook, put it right in the middle, and go down a little ways, and poke it through the side, and you feed it all the way through, and give it a twist. And then I'll line it up to find out where it'll poke through. Poke it through, and I'll skin hook it up on the top here. There you go. You got one Texas rigged Senko. And then when I do something like the Havoc Pit Boss or like the Brush Hog or something, I want an EWG hook. Because when I'm going to Texas rig it the same thing. Go through the tail, bring it through, feed it up, line it up, push it through, make it as straight as you can, and I'm going to skin hook it. And there you go. Now you got a Texas rigged Pit Boss. Now why I want an EWG hook, especially on these big baits, is when a fish comes and bites, there leaves a lot more room for that hook to show because of the bend in the hook. Because of the bend in the hook. If it was a straight shank hook, that fish is going to bite it, and there's not going to be that much penetration of the hook because there's nowhere for the plastic bait to go. And that's why I recommend EWG on your big baits, especially your big baits, and on your Senkos, the straight shank. But you can use the EWGs if you want them to. One of my last baits that I'm going to recommend in the fall to anyone is a jig. Now, jigs are the same deal. Clear water, stick to a more natural color of what you're trying to imitate. And dark water, go with a black or blue. Now, jigs, you can put a trailer on. I would highly recommend it, actually. You can put any trailer you want on. Just about anything will work. Try to match the trailer with the jig, though. It makes the presentation a lot more believable. And thank you for watching another episode of Wayne Outdoors. I'm your host, Brandon Wayne. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.